My name is Ronan O'Hare, and today we're going to start talking about polygons. So over here I have the definition of what makes a polygon. So for a shape to be a polygon, it has to be any two-dimensional shape that has at least three straight sides and at least three straight angles. Sorry, it shouldn't say straight there. So we'll start thinking up what kind of shapes will fit into this criteria here, and we shall start working on what makes a regular polygon. So to fit, just as any shape we draw over here has to fit into this criteria. So we'll start off with our first shape, which is the triangle. So this triangle has three straight sides, three internal angles, and all the sides are equal, all the angles are equal. That's what makes it regular. So the triangle, we'll add another side, and we'll have a square. So the square, four straight sides, four angles, internal angles, and they're all equal as well. So that's what makes it a square. And you can guess what we're going for next, the pentagon. So you could really do this with any shape. You can move up to hexagon, octagon, and they'll all fit the bill as well. So all the angles are equal, all the sides are equal. That's what makes these polygons especially just regular. So we'll put that in as well, we'll make a note. So these are all regular. So that's what makes them regular. Now, because we have regular ones, that must mean that we have irregular ones, so we'll cordon these off and move down to the next section. And so because we have shapes like square, triangle, pentagon, we'll start talking about the irregular version of them. So if we were to do an irregular triangle or polygon triangle, so that we have here, so none of the sides are equal, none of the angles are equal, and that's what makes it different to the triangle we had before. So that makes it an irregular polygon, because for a shape to be a regular polygon, the sides must be equal and the angles must be equal. No sides equal here, no angles equal, not a regular polygon. We can do the same with a four-sided shape. So if we draw something like this, four sides, four angles, none of the sides are equal, none of the angles, as you can see, are equal either, so that makes that four-sided shape irregular. We can do the same with a five-sided shape. So five sides here, clearly not the same. Five angles not the same. That's what makes this section irregular. So now we'll cordon that off and we'll move to the next section. So that's regular and irregular, but there's another section, there's complex ones. So for a polygon to be complex, it needs to do something slightly different. So for this one that we're going to look at next, so what makes this complex is it's called a concave polygon, because one of the internal angles is greater than 180 degrees. So 180 degrees is a straight line. This angle is greater than that. So the way I remember it is concave. A cave is something that you go into. So you can see here, it's like an inlet. So that's how I remember that's a concave one, because the next one would get mixed up with it, and that's a convex one. So a convex one is the complete opposite to a concave one. It's where all the internal angles are less than 180. So by rule of thumb then, that means all these, so all regular pentagons, are convex polygons, sorry, because of that rule. So these are all less than 180. So less and greater. So that's the two of them, and then last but not least we have what's called just simply a complex polygon. And what makes it complex is that if you were to draw a line from point A to B, so that line there, and C to D, these lines cross over, they intersect. So where a shape, a polygon, has lines, sides that intersect with each other, that's what makes it a complex polygon. And we'll cordon that section off. So looking at the first three steps we did, we talked about regular ones, irregular ones, and complex ones. They're all to do with actual polygons. And the last step, we're going to talk about what makes shapes, what makes it impossible for shapes to be classified as a polygon. So any shapes that don't fit this criteria here. So we'll start off sample with just a circle, it's only sketched. So the circle, it's 2D, doesn't have any straight lines though, and or angles or whatever. So for that reason, we cannot class the circle as a polygon. The next shape we're going to look at is similar but slightly different. So it's a semicircle, and we can see the semicircle, it does have one straight side, it does have a straight side, it does have internal angles, but you cannot have a curved side in a polygon. Polygons has to be straight sides, so also means that we cannot class a semicircle as a polygon. And the last kind of one we're going to look at is three-dimensional shapes. So for the likes of the square-based pyramid here or the cube here, so we look at it, they do have three straight sides, they have three internal angles. It does meet that part of the criteria, but it is not a two-dimensional shape. We have to have a two-dimensional shape, and that means it has to be flat, it has to be like on a plane, it has to be a planar shape. These here, the 3 dimensions, they have height, length, and width. The two of them do, so that's what cancels them out of the running for polygon status. So if we're to just recap on what we've done here, we've talked about the definition, so any 2D shape, at least 3 straight sides, at least 3 angles. We talked about it here, regular ones. To be regular shape, polygon, you need to have equal angles, equal sides. That's what makes a regular polygon. Irregular ones still fit every bit of this criteria, but just the sides aren't equal or the angles aren't equal. And then complex ones, which they fit this criteria as well, but just the shapes are different, the angles are more than 180 degrees, less than 180 degrees, sides overlap with each other. And then last but not least, we just talked about a few shapes that don't fit the criteria to be a polygon. So thank you, and listen next time.